A very good evening and welcome to the United Hotspot yet again. My name is Webb. It's a very big pleasure and utmost privilege to be here to talk to you about this love that I love, Manchester United. And the Red Devils will be returning to action on Sunday. It's a Friday, but guys, it's never too early to prepare for the Manchester Derby. Welcome to the United Hotspot. Let me know where you are tuned in from. Are you in the mood? Are you set for the action that will come up on Sunday at the Etihad Stadium, as we do hope to climb mountain nearly impossible, but not impossible. It's a hard mountain to climb, but there are some key battles we need to prepare for if we are going to salvage anything good out of that game. Nothing new to talk about in terms of team news, whether a new surprise returnee or a miracle, no miracles. It's now up to the young men who are fit and fresh to be trusted by Eric Ten Hag and deliver the goods at the den of Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola, speaking in his pre-match press conference, refused to comment about Eric Ten Hag and his team and his playing style, and of course the fact that we're on form and staff. He tried to be professional. He respects he does respect Jurgen Klopp. He respects Eric Ten Hag. He respects Mikel Arteta, and he doesn't usually comment about them because he knows his words could be twisted, and he knows Manchester United can shock you despite them not playing the best of football. So it is going to be an interesting conversation because today or tonight, for the most part, we are going to be looking at we are going to work with you to assemble our probable starting 11. I've taken the time to look through the men that we have and try to see who exactly we can look at to start in this game. And I'm between Kobe Maino and Kevin De Bruyne, two of the smartest players in the English Premier League or probably in the world, will be facing off against each other. It's the first time we are going to be seeing Kobe facing Kevin De Bruyne. It's an interesting one. And of course, Erling Haaland, another guy to watch, will be facing perhaps Rafael Varane or maybe Johnny Evans. What exactly will be the case in that? Now, remember, the stats are a bit shocking. Kevin De Bruyne has played only 7 games this season, but he has already scored once and assisted 4 times. So those are 5 goal contributions. Erling Haaland has played 21 games, has scored 17 times, and assisted 5 times in the English Premier League. Honestly, those are the 2 men to watch, but they have got one guy who knows how to pull late goals when things are seeming difficult. That is Rodri. So 3 men to watch for me, and United should be ready to go. But let me know what your prediction will be in that game. But most importantly, who do you think should be starting in the number 9 position? Because if we are playing a team that has got Erling Haaland, we certainly have got to have someone we can trust to get us goals, because we know without Haaland, usually things are difficult. So let's get proper into the team and try to digest which guys we feel should be starting, which formation we should go for. I honestly was critically trying to scrutinize this team, and I feel like we've got decent players who can come out there and deliver something. I think we've got the personnel to come out there and deliver something. So let's get proper into the lineup, because it's the most important thing, guys, now. And I know we can talk about a lot of the news coming through, but there is no major update in terms of news that will give us a lot to hope for going into this game. Yet it's the elephant in the room now. But let's talk about the squad, because for me, it's a game we've got to give all the respect. Obviously, Andrew Onana has been waxing lyrical lately. He has been so full of confidence, oozing confidence every minute. Every day he's spoken. Certainly will be starting in goal. I love the confidence he's got. And honestly, I do think for me, this derby has come at a good time because we are on a good run. We are it's a right test. It's a good test for us to see this team and test their mettle, see how good they have grown, really, because they have played all these games. Aston Villa never an easy team, but the ultimate test for a team for me is Man City. Now, if we navigate this test, trust me, the confidence we should carry from that should be enough to thrust us and push as far as we can for a place in the top 4. For me, it's a perfect test. Don't tell me about the injuries we have. It's a good timing. It comes at the back of a good run, and we can just take advantage of that run to be able to salvage something. And by salvaging something, I mean something respectable. I don't want to just talk about winning. For me, I think winning is the last thing we should think about. I think mostly it's us having a respectable performance. But it's United. Of course, we should go there with the mindset of winning, and of course, that is what should guide our game plan. But going straight to the squad, I honestly go for a 3-4-3. I'm going to go for a back three. I thought about this critically, and I'm thinking, I mean, if you're a smart manager, you want to play formations that suit your best players available. Now, perhaps with all players, Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw, with Diogo Dalot, Rafael Varane, Harry Maguire, with all our defenders fit, perhaps the best formation for Erik Ten Hag to play is not a back three. But in the circumstances we're working under, with the players we have, I think we need to play positions that are going to suit the players we have. We need to rather play formations that are going to suit the players who are fit. And for me, I think a back three is what will suit them. And I would go with the back line of Victor Lindelof. I would go with Rafael Varane and Diogo Dalot. That's the back three I would go for. All factors constant, all 100% fit. The thing is, Rafael Varane has got the experience, has got the physicality to try and match Erling Haaland. I think if you're going to, you're going to match physique and power and finesse of Erling Haaland, you want to match it with someone who has got the experience, who has faced some of the best defenders in the world and has been able to tame them. So don't tell me about Johnny Evans. I think for this game, yes, Evans has faced them as well. It's not that he's bad, but I think if Varane is fit, he's our best bet to start in that position. He's been playing well consistently, by the way. I think he's one of the top performers in defenders in the Premier League with stats, though he has played a few games because of injuries. But for me, Varane should be starting. And I feel with the hard work of Victor Lindelof close to him, he will do a running for him. Trust you me, he will give him good cover to try and make good control of this Erling Haaland, who is also good in the air, by the way. So you need someone who is strong in the air and can head balls or clear balls. So for me, Rafael Varane is an obvious starter. And I remember I watched an interview of Erling Haaland, and he said the toughest defender he has faced is Harry Maguire. Quite interesting, but I don't think even if Maguire were fit, for me, if Varane is available, he's the best person to start in the middle of that defense. Lindelof has been a hard worker. When he started playing as a central defender, he has played well. The third bit would be if Erik Ten Hag chooses to send Lindelof to the left again and bring in Varane, goes for a back four. I feel like then he will make us flat-footed on the left. For me, I would go for a back three. Not even Sofian Amrabat playing on the left, because his best football was in the middle, and that brings me to him. So play that back three, bring Sofian Amrabat here. Now, I was debating between Amrabat and Kobbie Mainoo or Casemiro, who should sit here. But look, I think Amrabat is the best option to shield the backline because of first of all, his work rate, because he's not so mobile. He does not leave his half so much. He does not think a lot about going forward the way Casemiro at times does, and Kobbie Mainoo. I feel you need a disciplined player who is going to be in this hole, which we know that this is where Kevin De Bruyne is most dangerous here. So you need someone who is going to be there to track him. I think the instruction for Sofian Amrabat should be to man mark Kevin De Bruyne and try to knock him out of the game. And of course, I know that every team prepares for Kevin De Bruyne when they're playing against Man City, and of course, we cannot do it any different. And the fact is, Man City has got all the players they need to injure you. It doesn't have to be Kevin De Bruyne alone. But whenever you knock Kevin De Bruyne out of the game, it becomes extremely difficult for them to get a goal. It becomes extremely difficult for them to find the spaces. So for me, Amrabat is the one guy who has the power, the physicality, the work rate, but also the discipline to concentrate on him. And I think Amrabat is one of those players who plays to the book, follows instructions when he's playing. That's his style of play. You see clearly when he's playing football, you see that he's proper following instructions from the boss and sticks to the instructions. For me, that's going to be very important in this game. So I'll go for Amrabat there. Then Kobbie Mainoo to the left. The thing with Kobbie Mainoo being close to Amrabat on the left is because, remember, we've got spaces. We've got a big space here. And you might say we have it on the right as well. But the thing is, Diogo Dalot is a natural right back. So I think the left will be more easy. And of course, they've also got Kyle Walker flying from this side, together with, of course, Doku, who at times is inverted. But Kyle Walker mostly, for me, is the dangerous one because of his overlapping runs. So you know that Kobe has got the physicality and smartness to always try and come and get him and tame him. But also, we know that Amrabat, where need be, can drift into the left hand side of the defense and try to support. Now, this for me is going to be teamwork at its best. It's going to be needed. So have your Kobe Maino here. Then Casemiro comes to the right. Yeah. Have your Casemiro. We know that Casemiro has got his squad, so he's in the mood. You're releasing him, but because putting him here is again giving him so much responsibility because he'll have a lot to deal with in terms of trying to tame Kevin De Bruyne. So I think the fact that he scored, and you see we don't have a natural striker, he's one of our top scorers this season. I think you want to put him there. He can give us. He has an opportunity. He has a higher probability to score than most of the players actually we have on the pitch. If that's anything to go by, he tries always to shoot on goal. So I think here we will have a little bit of more freedom to go up front, but also be disciplined enough to return fast and try to block his space in this on the right hand side of the midfield. So I would put Casemiro there. Then Bruno comes to his number 10. So you see the diamond in the middle. Now what this gives us is balance in the middle. We've packed the midfield, made it so difficult. There is a hard worker here. Kobe Maino himself is a hard worker. Casemiro is a hard worker. Then Bruno is a hard worker. But let his hard work be more here, going forward. From here, going forward. He can come in back a bit, but I don't expect Bruno to return so much. I expect Erik ten Hag to instruct his players to play disciplined football and trust these players and the defenders to do the behind work most of the time. The problem comes when Bruno has got to track back as well, and you're seeing him in all these places and spaces. For me, that's where we underutilize him and just tire him for nothing. So for me, if Bruno is there as our number 10, make him bigger, captain. That diamond. Then, of course, Marcus Rashford comes to his left. Garnacho takes his right. Now, I'll go for Scott McTominay to start as the false 9. And I'm going to tell you why. So, that's a 3-4-3. So, for me, this shape alone is enough to disorganize Man City. Is enough to, because I don't think Man City will be preparing for this. When they are watching Man United videos, I don't think they will be preparing for this. But I feel like this, first of all, gives us unpredictability. But I feel like also this gives us comfort. Because Sofian Amrabat will be comfortable in that skimming role at the base of the diamond. Casemiro is in the mood. His instincts will be telling him to go forward and try to shoot. We know that Scott McTominay now, his instruction has got to be disciplined enough and stay there. Then let the 4 players up top, from Bruno, Marcus Rashford, Scott McTominay, and Garnacho, let them for the most part commit to making sure that Man City's Rodri, who plays in this space where Bruno is, and the players behind him, they stay there. Don't let Marcus Rashford not allow Kyle Walker time to come and make these overlapping runs to try and exploit these spaces in the wide areas. Let them make them busy. Let us hope that Diogo Dalot can always add to the attack, because the right wing will be our more active wing, because besides having Garnacho up front, we have an overlapping right back in Dalot. He can swing in crosses, which crosses we know Scott McTominay can get well to the end of. So for me, I think this can give us a good chance, because the midfield already is physical. There is enough physicality in the middle. There are enough brains, because Casemiro and Maino have got brilliant brains to be able to match the brains of Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne. So for me, this is a game plan. We come into the game. The issue I've had with Erik ten Hag for the most part of the games we've played is we come into games without a game plan. We just come because he just comes with the same formation, and usually this is his predictable formation. Come here, he will put Amrabat there, then play the back line of four, then Casemiro here. Then on paper, they pretend like we have two holding midfielders, but practically when the game starts, it's one holding midfielder, then these guys here, then the guys will be all over the place. Usually, this is the predictable Eric Ten Hag. Stay in your positions, because the risk in how we play with Eric Ten Hag wanting players to chase everywhere is, if you play against a team full of good players with the ball, quick, smart players, trust me, because in some instances in the game, in our games, you find times when most of our players are on one half, are in one half, all committed this side. Even Dalot usually comes into the middle. Maybe even this Garnacho can come. So the whole of this space, you find the whole of this space is there to exploit. Now you lose the ball. This is when you one pass, one single pass is enough to destroy you. One simple pass like this is enough, with to Doku, to whoever, to Haaland, because this is a team full of fast and smart players who will exploit every opportunity they get. For me, that's my biggest problem with the way we play. We just seem to just follow the ball, and it's a risk. And also, there are instances where we've had players, because usually we play with a left back. So there are instances where all our players are committed, are here, and this space, and there is an acre of space here, and there is an acre of space. You can build an arcade here. Now these spaces are going to cause us problems, big problems. In fact, if I'm to put it right, put it to our goal, because that's where the danger is. So you find players committed. Maybe the defenders can stay, but Dalot is also caught somewhere. Casemiro is somewhere. So there is all this space for the opponent to exploit. We look unbalanced many a time. This single pivot system for me is the most unbalanced football system I've seen. Honestly, it could be the most. I don't even know where Eric Ten Hag, why he's so fascinated with it, but it looks so unbalanced that even for me, who is not a football coach, I can clearly see which spaces are easy to exploit. And of course, now the debate will be with the Scott McTominay, and people, of course, many people will feel maybe Marcus Rashford should come, McTominay goes on the bench, and Eric Ten Hag could do the same. Start is Anthony. For me, the reason I'll stick to McTominay is because McTominay, first of all, has a good eye for goal. Even in games when he doesn't score, you can see he gets there. He comes close, because he has got a good goal scoring instinct, which you need. You need every goal scoring instinct you can get against Man City. You need every goal scoring instinct you can get against Man City. Now, we cannot afford to have McTominay on the bench and put Anthony there, because Anthony does not score goals in the Premier League. You don't expect him to do anything. So you need Rashford with all his issues. You need him. Garnacho. These are players who have got goal scoring instincts. All of these have got goals in them. Casemiro, Bruno, all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of our players, our starters, have got goal scoring instincts, because any of them, because this is a kind of game where at some point you're going to rely on the individual brilliance of someone to pull up something. And you see, when we score a goal, it will give us put us in a good position. So this, for me, is how I would expect Eric Ten Hag to assemble his team. That, for me, will be the winning formula. And of course, there are risks to playing such a formation, but with the players we have, I think it will give us good balance, because the danger for Man City is mostly through the central axis. That's the biggest danger. Doku is good. Doku, I think, is a better and improved version of Anthony. I feel he's yes, he makes good runs and what, but he's not as scary. He doesn't scare me. He's not the kind of winger who will put me on my toes. I'm on the edge of my seat if I'm a defender. I think he can be dealt with. The biggest issues for Man City are Kevin De Bruyne. If De Bruyne is cut off, Rodri is monitored. Trust me, Erling Haaland can be tamed, and Kyle Walker. Because if Kevin De Bruyne is not passing the balls, Kyle Walker is swinging the crosses. So if we tame those, to do that, we need discipline, not playing, running all over left, right, and center. For me, that's my honest view of how we need to look in this game if we are going to have any chance, any even the slightest of chances against Manchester City. It's a tough game. You think about the goals alone. I've told you already, Erling Haaland has scored 17 goals. De Bruyne has assisted already 4 times, yet he has played only 7 games. So you think about them, and you really see that our approach should not be to come out there and try to play our football. It's try and limit them as much as we can. That should be the approach. We should try and limit them as much as we can. Now, so so that aside, I think just to give you some bit of news, and I'm going to keep this this Probable 11 on the screen as we get into some bit of news talk. Yeah, as we get into some bit of news talk, I'm going to keep this line up on your screen. Yeah, so that we so the other thing I want to talk about is how it is becoming increasingly possible that we can finish among the top 4. In all, I've been scrutinizing games of the other teams, of Aston Villa, the teams above us, the close ones that we're trying to chase, Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspurs, and I actually think we've got a real chance, and that's why I said this fixture of Man City has come at the right time. I think if we deal well with Man City, it's going to put us in a good position. I think of our remaining fixtures, I think it should be the one fixture that could give us headache, that we should think about and worry and say, okay, this is a worrying fixture. Because if I'm to look at the next games we have after Man City, of course, in the Premier League, I want to talk about the FA Cup on the weekend of the 16th. We've got Everton, who of course have just recovered 4 points from their ban. We've got Everton coming up next. Then after Everton, we've got just hold on a second. Yes, we've got Everton after Man City. We've got Everton. Then we have Brentford away. Everton is coming to Old Trafford. We have Brentford away. Then we've got Chelsea, which I feel we should be able to beat even at their home at the Bridge. Again, that will all depend on how we play against Man City, because it will give us the thrust. Then we've got Liverpool. This is a derby. We held them to a goalless draw in the first game. I feel we can still get a draw out of Liverpool at this point. We are in a better place as we head to meet them. We have Bournemouth. We've got Newcastle. That's a home game. The hard games are at home, except Chelsea, which I don't think is a hard game. Really, it shouldn't be. But because they're as bad as, I think they are worse than us. There is no individual quality in Chelsea. They are young players. They are promising young players. That's why I say the fixture looks fair for Man United. The remaining games look fair for Man United. Maybe even Arsenal is there on the 11th of May, but it's a home game. We shouldn't think we should. I think we are beginning to look like we can push for a top 4. So for me, that's why I say this Man City game could be the changing point for our season. And I know we've had a good run, but Man City getting a point, just a point, or even performing well, even if they beat us by a goal to nil, the way they struggle to beat Chelsea, I think for me the performance we put on against Man City will give us a proper idea of how the rest of our season is going to be. If they beat us and humiliate us, we are going to go back to square one. If they humiliate us, we are going to go back to square one. If we put on a good performance, a good display, everyone, the fans, the pundits, the critics, the naysayers are going to now start respecting us. Even the other teams will start respecting us, and we'll have a realistic chance of doing doing something. Now, let me just get into a bit of the updates. Eric Ten Hag apparently has said that he will be booking his flight home if there could be an internal strife, that his presence caused an internal strife at the club. He would be booking his flight back to his native Netherlands to just move on. There's also been a story I've seen that is saying that Zinedine Zidane says there is no chance of him ever coaching in the Premier League. He doesn't dream of it at all. It's not something that he sits there and dreams of, to coach in the Premier League. That's according to the report I've seen earlier today. I sad bit a bit. Of course, I honestly think I wouldn't want really Zinedine Zidane to be a coach at Man United. And with all due respect to Zidane, I never, even at Madrid, whereas he won all the Champions League titles he won, I never felt like he never gave us Jabi Alonso vibes, if you know what I mean. He never. He also doesn't look to be ambitious. He doesn't seem as ambitious. I think in our struggles, in the circumstances we are in, but also the nature of the Premier League, the best decision for him would be not to coach in the Premier League, because it would just expose him badly. It's a tough league, and for legends like him, it would look ugly on him. Imagine if he comes to the Premier League, which he didn't play in, and it just molests him. I think it would look so bad on him, yet he doesn't have to. He can go and make a lot of money in Bayern, beating everyone and any club he meets. He doesn't have to come to the Premier League just for his good, but also I don't think it would be good for a club like Man United or even any club in the Premier League. That's my honest truth. I don't think he would. But yeah, that's that's what's happening. Let me see. There is another update that I saw that I wanted to talk about, that was talking about Omar Berada, and how I wanted to first even read it for you, but anyway, let me just tell it to you. So there is something I saw, that Omar Berada at Man City was in charge of negotiating player fees and transfer fees and stuff for players and make money for the club. He's a CEO who understands the business but also the game, because we've seen videos of him sitting in meetings with Omar Berada, with him, Omar Berada, and Tiki Begirenstein, and probably Pep Guardiola, and he's talking real football, like with proper understanding and knowledge of the game, and of how player earnings affect performance on the pitch, that kind of understanding. But for me, a big issue we had with United has always been negotiation, because you can imagine how we negotiated deals for players like Anthony, how we've negotiated deals for players like Varane and Casemiro, the wages they're earning. So all these issues, I think, are huge, and these are things that have been affecting our player performance, because of and these are unseen issues that do not motivate players, but actually money does not really motivate people. Money disorganizes groups. Money can motivate individuals, probably, that if I know that me, Webb, if I go to play a golf tournament, I'm going to win this amount of money as an individual, or a tennis tournament, that would be good motivation for me. But if we're a group, like a team, and some people are earning so much, others are earning so little, yet we are all playing as a unit and winning as a unit, usually money is going to disorganize people. The reason why Arsenal players don't earn as much money as Man U players, but they play as a unit, they fight for each other, there is cohesion in the team, is because Arsenal players will earn little, but they'll be close. You won't find a player who is earning 5, 6, 8 times more than another at Arsenal. It can't happen. That's proper recipe for disaster. A proper recipe for disaster. So Omar Berada brings that wealth of knowledge of negotiating, because there's been a big problem for Man United. Because, and the thing is, and you may not entirely blame the people before. And I mean, after David Gill, you always are going to expect that it will be hard for whoever follows in his shoes. But the thing is, a club like Manchester United has a lot of money, and these guys in football know. The player agents and the players, they all know that this club has a lot of money. and they know that the Glazers do not care really about the money, even if they spend how much money. Or for them, their game plan has always been to spend money and hope that their money will yield results, get them, motivate players by paying them a lot, but you're making a lot, which is, I think, is sort of an American way of doing things. I don't think Americans are stingy, really. I think they, except okay, Stan Kroenke at Arsenal. I think it's an American way of getting things done. You motivate people with money, 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 crazy money. But it doesn't work like that in football. Football has got to have structures. Structures win football games, not money. Now, Berada has come in with that proper understanding, and the fact that he has worked in an institution that has a lot of money. He has worked for a Manchester City that has got all this oil money, and he has still been able to make it work. Now he's a guy, it is being revealed that he's the guy who was in charge of negotiations for key players, player contracts at Man City. For me, all those are the things that just show me why it now makes sense. It now makes sense that Sir Jim and Ineos first went for him. Now it all makes sense for me. Now I see why Sir Jim first went for him when he was going to poach to poach a CEO. So if he's going to handle our negotiations and talks, and if we are coming to the end of the season, you will see that the biggest problem we've had is going to be solved, or it's already being solved. And for me, that's very important. It brings a certain level of assurance and certainty, which I think is important, and it will be good for us to ride on that. So yeah, that's a brilliant uh, update for us to know. So pretty much, I think that's it. I think for the most part of today, I just wanted to talk about the lineup, my probable lineup. Of course, there is more time for us to concentrate on this game. There is also a report I saw that apparently Ralph Ragnick recommended Julian Nagelsmann to Ineos to be manager of Manchester United. That's a story I saw, that Ralph Ragnick recommended Nagelsmann. I think these German and Dutch guys just think they will come to our club and do the things they want. I don't know. I don't really feel Nagelsmann. I think I would rather stick with Erik ten Hag to go for Nagelsmann anyway. But it seems Erik ten Hag will be given a bit of time. Now, Andre Onana, one of our top players. The last video I posted today, I was talking about some of our improved players, and Andre Onana, and how I think, because on the Man United website, by the way, you can rush there and vote for your player of the month. Most likely, Hojlund will win, really. 4 games, 5 goals, 1 assist. Whereas he's competing with Kobe and Diogo Dalot, but honorary mention to Andre Onana. And people might not understand why it's been so important for Andre Onana to pick up his form if United is going to improve. I think we build a lot on it. Any team will always build on how good their goalkeeper is. If your goalkeeper is not performing well, if the person marking your goal is keeping your home is not doing well, there is no way you're going to concentrate and do your job. If your Askari at home is sleeping in the night, sleeps before you do, there is no way you're going to have confidence leaving home and go to work and make the money. So I think it's a very important thing that Andre Onana has picked up his form. I think it's good for Man United. It's at a good time, and that's why if he performs well against Man City, then trust me, the rest of the season will be unstoppable. Too Fine Raj says, sometimes I don't know the reason as to why once we score any goal, we feel satisfied with it, and they begin wasting chances. During the added minutes, they wake up. It's because we do not, for me, it's because we do not come with a game plan. You see, there is no game plan. There is also no proper playing style, that the goals we score and do not result from a build-up, a proper build-up. We just fumble into goals. You see, it's like you winning a jackpot that you did not prepare for. You will waste that money eventually. You blow up the money. You understand what I mean, to Fine Raj. The reason why many times we've scored goals, we start and score 2 goals, then we capitulate, then we wake up again, is because these goals are not well worked. It's not like we come with this, that this come, this is our strategy, this is our game plan, we do like this, pass the ball like this, then score, and then we manage after. If we score, this is what we are going to do. We manage it like this. We are going to do. There is no game plan. The goals just come. There is no way you can protect goals that just come. It's like you have not planned for them. It's like right now to find Raj. I don't know how rich you are, but imagine right now you got 10 times the money you have out of nowhere, out of the blue. However much it is, you will waste it eventually. It's a matter of time. Until then, you realize, it's getting done. All my money is getting finished. Then you wake up and try in the last minutes of your life, in the last years of your life, to try and do something, to try and stay afloat. That's exactly what we do. We are like that street boy who has woken up, gone out on the streets. No hope that he will get any money. Then he chances on some guy who gives him $2 million. He's so rich, blows the 2 million for some time, he will enjoy the 2 million. Then it blows up. When it's starting to get finished, he wakes up and realizes I have to invest. So he will fight now again and start making the right decisions. And at times they might work, at times it might be too late. So that's the same analogy you can relate Man United. We don't have a plan. It's not like the goals we score are planned for. It's not. Look at the goals we scored against Luton. Really, would you tell me we planned for those goals? That we had a game plan to score goals like that? We didn't. We didn't. It goals just come out. That's why we talk about this run. What the run has done, this run of games, and Eric Ten Hag keeps talking about winning. What this run has done is it has brought a bit of hope in the fans and belief, and also gives us a bit of good positioning on the log. But the run is not a run of improved play every day. Yes, we can say in the last game we played a little decent, and momentarily in games we had good moments. But all the other games we won, the 5 out of the 6 games in February that we won, the 5 games we won, would you tell me that these 5 games were won like this? This is how we played and won these games. There was never a game plan. We just fumbled into all those victories. We can just recall 1 or 2 games where we looked like we tried to play, but there were still terrible displays. They were not coordinated. They were there. They were just some funny, non-identical game. So for me, that's why I keep telling people, even if we won this league, but we won it the way we've been winning games, those fumbled victories, I would still not be convinced at all. Even if we won it, I wouldn't celebrate, oh, we are the best. Hey, Eric Ten Hag is the man. We are back. Hey. I would won the league. I will come here and bash these Arsenal naysayers the whole day, all night. But I will not feel in my heart like, this is the guy. We play very good football, because man, we never have a game plan. That's why I came here. I've taken my time to explain what for me would be a sensible game plan. And you see, in football, you come up with a game plan based on the opponent, based on the situation. Based on the opponent and based on the situation of the team. Now, the situation, I mean, which players are available, who is injured, who has a red card. Then you look at your team, what's the weather, stuff like that, the weather, the opponent. Now, you know that you're playing a derby. This is a derby. You don't need it's not about who is most skilled. It's about who has the experience, who has the character, mentality. Derby is about character and mentality, not skill. So you know that, okay, these are the players I'm going to bring in. Then you know we are going to play a team like let's say Brighton. Yeah, how do you match Brighton? Do you match skill with skill? Do you match skill with physique? Say, okay, this is it. This is how they play. What's the game plan? Can we match them and beat them at their game? Let's play their game. This is Man City. They are just the best passers of the ball in the Premier League. Can we match them? Certainly not. What do? Let's pack the midfield. Let's frustrate them. That's the game plan. I want to sit here and ask you to find Raj and the other people watching. When is the last time you watched a Man United game under Eric Ten Hag and you saw a game plan, because the game plan can be seen. It doesn't need explaining. And if I were one of the journalists interviewing this Eric Ten Hag or this coach, I would ask him, what was your game plan after the game? I'll be asking him, what was your game plan coming into this game? To understand, maybe, because there must be a game plan. You can't go to the Etihad Stadium just to play because you trust and believe in how you play, that you don't even think about. You must have a game plan. How do we beat Man City? First 15 minutes. Yeah? What do we do? Let's just try to contain them, to find stability, manage the game, frustrate them. Let's knock someone, knock a few bodies, tease them with physically. That's a game plan. That, Kevin De Bruyne is not 100% fit. He was fit a bit of the season. Okay, who is our most physical guy? Is it Casemiro? Casemiro is a bit nasty. His fouls can result in a bad card. But who can make smart fouls? It's Kobe Maino. Okay, Kobe, you know what? The first 15 minutes, so to us, first 20 minutes, try to knock your physical and keep knocking and teasing Kevin De Bruyne. Knock him. Yeah, he will fear. Try to do stuff to him. Okay, knock him out like that. Bruno, what do you do, Bruno? Bruno, you know what? Rodri is a danger. He's physical. Make you skillful. Make him busy by staying there in the number 10 and do magical stuff, so that he has to keep monitoring you. He can't leave to come to us. That is a game plan. That's what they call a game plan. Eric Ten Hag never has a game plan. He just comes. That's why every day it's the same players. Antony, unless he's forced by injuries, but same players playing the same way. You play today, the issue is guys are forming highways around Casemiro, but you still do the same thing against a physical team like Luton that has very fast players. You do the same thing. Then somehow the players will fight and grind, because some of them have individual quality. Hoyland, they grind and score a goal, and we win, because we are Man U, we've bullied the Luton, we win. Then you come in the press conference and you say, this team, we are building something, it's improving. For me, these are the issues I have with Eric. These are the issues I have with Ten Hag. He is so full, and I've read it in his character. He is so full of himself and his methods, and for me, that's a problem. Someone who doesn't, a one-trick pony, who doesn't. You see how Pep keeps switching things up. Do you know why Pep is a great manager? Do you know why this Arteta will be a great manager? Do you know why Klopp will be a great? They have their fundamentals, the system, how they play, but they keep switching things up. Switch things up depending on the situation, the opponent. Eric Ten Hag is a one-route guy, one-trick pony. If it doesn't work, he will just freeze on the bench, make a funny substitution. Then on one lucky day, the players will fight because they fear the fans. They will fight. Hoyland will, poor guy, will run. Bruno will shoot the whole day, the whole night, and until we pick up a rebound and fumble into a goal. Or Casemiro will go and just force a brush of a header, and we survive Nottingham Forest. And Eric Ten Hag will come in the press conference and brag. Bro, no game plan. Now, this is going to be the test. If he comes without a game plan, let me tell you, I'll be here live for a watch along on Sunday. They are going to beat. He's going to get a worse beating than was it 7-0? Was it Liverpool that gave us 7? Or was it Man City? They will beat us. If there is no game plan, Man City will take us to footballing school. Proper. Have a game plan that can be seen clearly. My 2 cents. Thank you, guys. Thank you to Fine Raj. And of course, the rest of the guys. My name is Webb. I think that's pretty much it. Those are most of the things I wanted to talk about. I'll just leave it at that. Catch you tomorrow, because we've got a big game to prepare for. By the way, this game always puts me a little low-key under pressure, because I hate to lose to Man City. I don't respect Man City at all. I respect Pep and what he does, but the club, the institution, I don't respect them. I feel like they need to fear us. Like, they have just bullied us so much lately. They've just bullied us so much. And they have always had strong teams, but you see, back then we would always also have teams that knew how to come out there and match them. I hate it. I hate it when we lose to them. Ernest Kavuta, hello, but without Rasmus, can we beat City? We can beat City without anyone if we have the proper psyche. If players have got the right mentality and attitude, they just have. It is war. That's why I said it's a battlefield. Etihad is going to be a battlefield, not a football pitch. Man City, Man U is war. It's like Arsenal, Man U. It is war. So in war, you don't need your very good-looking, fancy guy. You need people who know fight. Anyone can fight. Man City will come to play football. For us, we have to come to fight. But the problem is Man City will come, play football, better football, but also fight more than us. Now, I don't expect us to play better football than them, but we can fight. At least put on a fight. For me, that's all I'm begging for. At least fight. And you see, when we fight, we see it. Just fight. Just fight. Whether they give someone a red card for just being too much, yes. Just come and war. Let it be war at Etihad. For me, that's what I want. That is Man City, Man U. Not these friendly things of players hugging around and what. What nonsense is that? They're hugging. This team is ages ahead of us. Ages. They shouldn't be. We can beat them with any player so long as they know the fixture, they know the magnitude, they know the implications of us losing, they know what it means to beat them or not to lose to them at Etihad at this point in time. And they should know that if they get a result against Man City, a respectable result, if that happened, it is going to change the rest of the season. It's going to send a statement. We are going to come into every game after that as the proper favorites. Because Man U are never underdogs. But lately, we are becoming underdogs even against third, whatever, third half, what's it called? Third quarter, bottom half teams. We are becoming underdogs. That's why we're being beaten like that at Fulham without a fight, by Fulham at home, without a decent fight. So, honest, yes, without Hoyland, we can beat City. We've beat them before without him. He just came. Has he played even a single derby? I don't think he has. Yes, we can. It's about the and I've told you, we've beaten City. If you do recall the Man U that beat City 8-2. I think it was 8-2. If you do recall, I forget the year with Sir Alex Ferguson. What year was it? Was it 2012? Was it, remind me, when we beat them 8-2? Was it 2012? If you recall, let me try to get that team. The team had the likes of, I think, Smalling. I think it was one of our worst teams because it was in the evening of Sir Alex Ferguson's start Man United. Let me first recall that team. 8 to Manchester City. I want to get the lineups. Was it 8-2? There is a bad beating we beat Man City. It had the Balotellis of this world. Was it 8-2, guys? Remind me. Just want to get that lineup. I just want to get that lineup and show you that it's not about which players we have. I'm forgetting. Was it Man City that we beat with 8 goals, or was it Arsenal? I remember we beat Man City with Sir Alex Ferguson by 8 goals. They had Balotelli, they had these big guys. I don't know, Manyaya, Toure, name them. Manchester United. Which one was it? There is a recent one. No, I think it was Arsenal that we beat 8-2. There is one against. There is one with Sir Alex Ferguson. My memory is trying to, but what I'm trying to say is these derbies, these big games, do not require the best players. They require the best psyched players, players who understand, who are willing to go to war. Players who are willing to go to war. Uh-huh. It was 6-1, October 2011. Let me get that fixed. Let me get that lineup. 6-1. Let me get that. This is going to be the last thing I talk about, guys, and I let you retire. It's Arsenal we beat 8-2, but we beat Man City 6-1. I want to get the lineup. Listen, this is the lineup. Eh? That beat Man City 6-1. Man City had Joe Hart, Mika Richards, Vincent Kompany, Lescott, Clichy, Yaya Toure, Gareth Barry, James Milner, David Silva, Mario Balotelli, and Sergio Aguero. That's the Man City. We had David De Gea, Chris Smalling. There was Ferdinand. Remember, even Ferdinand, this was the evening of Ferdinand's career. There was Ferdinand, Johnny Evans, Evra, who was the captain. There was Nani, Fletcher, Anderson, Ashley Young, Wayne Rooney, and Danny Welbeck. The goals were scored. Is this the one? No, this is the one they beat us. No, I want the one we beat them. Okay, I think the October one, the 2011 one is the other way around. It's them who beat us 6-1. Okay, I think the game I'm trying to recall must have been the Arsenal game that we beat 8-2. But if you recall the team we had a weak team. We had Smalling, I think Phil Jones, Ashley Young, bunch of nobodies, but we beat a very steady Arsenal. So my point is, these big games are not about which players are there, who is fit and who isn't. It's about the psyche, players understanding that this is a rivalry we can't lose. Honest Kaputa, Eric is not that kind of a coach who can come up with a solution. No, it was Arsenal. Thank you for reminding me. It was Arsenal, but I still want to find the players who are in that game. Hmm? I want to show you that these were not our best players. So we had, thank you so much. This is the game. You guys have good memories. This was the starting team. David De Gea in goal. In the defense, we had Chris Smalling, we had Phil Jones, we had Johnny Evans, and Patrice Evra, who was the captain. Then we had Nani, Tom Cleverley, Anderson, Ashley Young, Rooney, and Danny Welbeck. Have you heard? And Danny Welbeck. That is the team that beat Arsenal by 8-2. Our bigger players, Ferdinand, who are big name players, Giggs, Park, Babatov, Chicharito, were all on the bench. But we beat them by 8-2. That was, it was 2011, 2012. Exactly. I think at least I tried to recall the year. So guys, let's not fear. For me, the issue is not the players. The issue is the manager. If Ten Hag does what he keeps doing, no chance. If he does the right thing, comes up with a game plan, and like I've said, trust me, we have a big chance. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. We'll be back again tomorrow. We'll have some team news, of course, about our readiness, and of course, we'll also try to look through the other side. Look through Man City. Tomorrow, I think we'll talk about the game, but with Man City players in, and see how they play and how they move and how we can try to cope. Good night, guys. Thank you.